Hey, it's Jason with Voice Acting 101, and today I just wanted to go over Voice123, kind of show you how I use it in my voice acting business every day. If you don't know what Voice123 is, Voice123 is a voice casting service, and as you can see, they have over 40,000 clients. They've posted over 131,000 jobs. They have two membership plans. You can become a standard member, which is basically just a free profile page where you can upload your demos, and clients can ask you to audition directly for a job. You can't audition out of the blue, so you have to be invited by the client to audition for a specific job. The other plan is the premium plan, which is $395 a year. And what that gets you is the ability to audition for jobs automatically. You'll be invited to audition for the jobs that have been posted on Voice123. So I've been a member since 2003, and basically what Voice123 does is they bring potential clients to your inbox. So instead of you searching for a lead and taking the time to build a relationship and waiting for that prospect to have a job that they're going to send you, you bypass all of that with Voice123. And I'm not saying building relationships with direct marketing isn't important, because it is. But with Voice123, you get to that point where a client has a job and they're ready to hire you or hire a voice actor, and hopefully that's going to be you. Once they post the job, Voice123 notifies you of the job. It's up to you and your talent as a voice actor to convert that audition into a first time and hopefully a repeat client. The benefits of Voice123 are that you have direct contact with clients once they contact you. So you can include your email, you can include your website, your phone number, any way to get in touch with you in the proposal that you submit when you apply or audition for a job. Once they contact you, then you can take it off of Voice123 and just contact that client directly. Another benefit is that Voice123 doesn't take any commission, so they're not a middleman. They're basically just bringing the jobs to the site, the clients with the jobs to the site. You as a voice actor get to participate in those jobs. So they're just bringing voice actors and clients together. One other benefit is that you're seeing auditions and you're able to practice every day with scripts and jobs that you wouldn't otherwise see. So once you become a premium member, you're going to want to go to your profile page. I'm not going to go into all the details of the profile, but you would just select each one of these sections, follow the tips and the instructions in it, upload your demos and your headshot if you have one, and all the details about your voice. So you're basically setting up your profile so that you can begin receiving invitations to jobs. Once you set up your profile, you'll then start receiving invitations anytime a job has been posted that matches your profile. You'll receive an email like this. It's going to tell you the budget. It's going to tell you the title. So you could click that and it would take you right to that job. But for this video, I'm not going to go into the email. I'm just going to show you the invitation inbox. And as you can see, there's a ton of jobs, 3,000 jobs, but you can filter it by the projects which you can actually submit auditions or proposals for. And once you do that, that brings it down to 77. So this is basically your dashboard or your inbox of auditions. And you can see the budget, you can see the project name and the project ID. So you would just go through these, and what you want to do is you want to be selective about the projects that you actually audition for. You want to make sure that you match what the client is looking for so you don't waste your time or the client's time, and you'll have a better rating on Voice123 through their SmartCast algorithm, which I'll explain in a minute. Basically, you jump into a job. So let's pick this one, e-learning voice recording. So you just click that link. It brings up the actual job. It gives you more details about the job. So we'll cover this. We've got the project name, the project ID, which is usually what I save my audio file, my audition file as. I grab that and use that as my title, when I save the audio file. Project description, you can learn more about the details of the actual project. You can see when the project was posted, when the deadline is. SmartCast is a little bit complicated to explain, but basically it's an algorithm, and it's going to try to match the best voice actors to this job based on the information that it gathers and based on ratings that you've received from past auditions that you've completed. SmartCast is who's inviting you to this job. So you haven't been invited by the actual client, but SmartCast thinks that you're a pretty good candidate. The project status shows that it's open and you can still audition for it. It shows how many people have already auditioned. So 24 voice actors have already auditioned for this. 0 have been reviewed by the voice seeker. So that means the voice seeker has not heard any of those yet. Voice seeker invitations is basically a direct invitation, which means that if a client found a voice that they really, really like and they say, hey, I want this person to audition, they would send a direct invitation to that voice actor. So they haven't sent any, so that kind of means that they don't have any specific person in mind. SmartCast is looking for 40 auditions. Once it hits 40, it's probably going to be cut off. It'll stop accepting auditions at that point. And under project parameters, you'll get more details about it. Again, the budget. It tells you the purpose of the recording, how it's going to be used, the length, the language requirements. It tells you all kinds of stuff about age and years of experience, which sometimes it's not as important. I don't pay that much attention to it, but it's a non-union project. That is important, and they've got some project keywords in there to give you a little bit more direction. Then you get to your script. This is where you can actually read the script. So if you were interested in submitting an audition for this job, this is where you would do it. You would just read that script, and by clicking that link, it brings up the script in a more readable format. And then down here at the bottom, you have voice seeker ID number. That's just their identification number through Voice123, and the company name. And it says right here, it is not acceptable to contact the voice seeker or their company directly. That means you could copy this and you could throw it in Google, and you could probably find out who this is and say, hey, I will do this job for $900. That would be bad. Do not do that. Do not contact them outside of Voice123. They brought this job to Voice123 to find the voice actor that they're looking for. So it's just unprofessional to look for them and contact them outside of Voice123 unless they contact you first and say, hey, we want to hire you for this job. Then it's up to you to turn them into a client and hopefully a repeat client. But you don't want to contact them and go outside of Voice123 just because you have their company name. That would be bad. So this job, it looks like it's a little bit less than what I would accept. So I would delete that audition, and you just click delete audition. That'll bring you back to the invitation inbox page. So we'll just keep looking through to see what we find. And let's see, auto dealer commercial. So you can read the description, and once you do this a few times, you know the sections to look at. It seems like a lot at first, a lot of information, but once you do it a few times, you'll be able to make split-second decisions about it. For me on this one, the budget's just a little low, so I'll delete that. And we'll keep looking. And if you want to go to the next page, you just click next. That'll take you to the next page. All right, so this one doesn't look bad. 38 people have already auditioned. They have not reviewed any of them. It closes in 3 days. So some clients probably like to review it at the end. And other clients who are in a rush, you can tell that they, if that said they've reviewed 36 or 37, you can tell that they're reviewing them as they come in. So if you audition for this job, you'll be competing against right now 38 people. It could possibly go up to 50 people that you're auditioning against. So 38 people isn't really bad. It's a little bit more than what I would like, but maybe I'll go ahead and do this one. So let's read through it. The video is going to be played internally at Phillips 66. It's going to announce their marketing conference in Las Vegas. It's going to be used November and January on their website. It needs to sound real, excited, and relatable. The client does not want to sound too rehearsed or show busy. Speak with wonder and enthusiasm to convey how enjoyable and informative the event is. And let's see what other information we can get from it. So their budget is $250, and that's a fixed price. So if you're going to quote more than $250, really no sense in auditioning for the job because they're saying, here's what we're going to pay, and it's fixed. We're not going to pay any more or less. So it's telling you it's a 30-second, and looks like they want a phone patch on this. All right, so I'll bring up the printable script, and then I'll bring over my Adobe Audition, So I'll show you a little trick. And you haven't seen anything yet. You haven't. See, if you mess up, I hit the M, so then I know that I'm going to remove that take. You have ambitions to grow your business, to increase sales, reduce costs, improve efficiency, because you're motivated by outstanding performance. Phillips 66 recognizes the excellence you achieve every day, and together we have a driving power toward future success. We're navigating through a changing marketplace, celebrating the wins along the way, and preparing for a tomorrow that promises to reward your ambition. A future built on momentum. 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 Driven by excellence. Driven by excellence. Okay, so editing-wise, it's pretty easy now because of the markers. Let me see. You have ambition. See if you have ambitions, and you haven't seen any. And together, a future built on, driven by excellence. Okay, so that's a quick edit job, and I'll play back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And you haven't seen anything yet. You have ambitions to grow your business, to increase sales, reduce costs, improve efficiency, because you're motivated by outstanding performance. Phillips 66 recognizes the excellence you achieve every day, and together, we have a driving power toward future success. We're navigating through a changing marketplace, celebrating the wins along the way, and preparing for a tomorrow that promises to reward your ambition. A future built on momentum, driven by excellence. Okay, so that's the audition, and we'll close that. And what I like to do, jump up to the top, say Submit Audition. It gives you a few reasons to be very picky about the auditions that you actually submit. So the first reason is SmartCast is just it's like an algorithm, so it does make mistakes. And you can see that sometimes I'll get a job invitation for a British voice where I don't do a British voice. I would delete that job. The other reason is that SmartCast is going to give higher priority to voice actors who are selective. So if you submit auditions for every single job or invitation that comes in, it's going to realize that, and it's going to say, hey, you're submitting auditions for everything, and you're probably not the right fit for every job, so you're not being selective enough, and they're going to penalize you a little bit for that. And then the third reason is that the voice seekers are going to be providing feedback on your auditions and your proposals. So if you're auditioning for jobs that, again, aren't a good fit for you, then the voice seeker, it's going to waste their time. They're going to be angry about it, and they're probably going to give you a bad review. And then SmartCast is going to use that review in the future, and it's going to say, hey, you're not filtering your jobs enough, and we're not going to send you as many auditions because clients who are submitting the jobs aren't happy with the auditions that you're submitting. Once you understand that and you feel like you're a good fit for it, go ahead and click those buttons to bring you to the actual page where you submit your audition. What I do right here, Project ID, you can grab that, you can say copy it, and then you jump back to your Adobe Audition or whatever your audio editing software is. And I'll just put it there, save it as an MP3, and then come here. There it is. So that uploads it right there. And you also want to include one of your demos, so I'll include my commercial demo. And then I have a little text file, so I just copy that and I put it right there. It's got my information right there for them. So once that's done, you just say preview, and that'll upload your audition, and it will get ready to submit the actual proposal. And you can listen back to it. And you haven't seen anything yet. So just to make sure you selected the right file, make sure your generic demo works. What? Yep. Okay. So, and there's your proposal, and the price was already there. Since it was fixed, you couldn't even edit it. So I'll say submit the proposal. And then that shows you that the proposal has been submitted for that project. So that's basically how I use Voice123 on a daily basis to get more clients, more voiceover work. So I hope that helps you. If you have any questions, let me know, voiceacting101.com. Thanks.